Hello and welcome to Quays News. I'm Indy Rashid.
And I'm Zach Silk.
We start today's programme with some breaking news. Metropolitan Police say they are dealing with a terror-related incident after a man has been arrested for possession of weapons. Armed police have cordoned off a road on Whitehall, 100 metres from Downing Street. Forensic officers were seen examining a bag of knives on the pavement. No injuries have been reported, and we'll keep you up to date with the latest.
And in other news, firefighters gained access to Manchester's Christie Hospital after a large fire broke out yesterday morning.
Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Hospital staff are in the process of salvaging life-saving cancer equipment. Roads still remain closed from both directions. Our reporter Ebony Blakemore has more on this story, doesn't she, Zach?
Yes, she does. And so, Ebony, what do we know so far about this?
OK, the fire has now been contained. Firefighters have been working since Wednesday morning, tirelessly through the night and for most of the day, to minimise the damage and prevent the fire from spreading. Thankfully, there was no casualties and all patients and staff are safe.
So you talked about the damage there, so what damage has been caused? OK,
from the third floor where the fire has ripped through, there is complete devastation and water damage to the second floor. However, firefighters were made aware of the importance of the building, with 45,000 patients being treated each year. They have made sure much of the equipment and data has been salvaged and removed to another building. As for any research taken at the time of evacuation, it has been burnt or water damaged as well.
And do we know the cause of the fire?
Greater Manchester Fire and Security Services say the investigation is underway, but the cause of the fire is yet to be identified. A more detailed search was due to take place at lunchtime, but nothing has been confirmed.
And what have the Christie said about the matter?
A spokesperson from Cancer Research UK have made a statement advising further information on the extent of damage is to be taken. They have advised that patients attending are to make sure they attend but access another exit.
Well, thank you very much, Ebony.
Thank you.
Greater Manchester Police, Greater Manchester Evening will elect its first ever mayor next Thursday. The 7 candidates have been campaigning across the 10 councils over the past few months. They've been speaking to the general public about their plans for housing, transport, schools and policing.
The Mayor will be one of nearly 40 individuals to sit on the region's devolved health board, which brings together all the different health and social care organisations across Greater Manchester's £6 billion system.
You can register to vote at gov.co.uk/register to vote. Well,
it should be interesting, shouldn't it?
It really should. I mean, that £6 billion is a lot of money, especially in Manchester's growing economy. A lot of new people are coming to Manchester with Media City. I mean, the growth there is fantastic. I really hope that will be one main point of the election, is going to be the expansion of Media City. 7
interesting candidates as well. Of course, we've got Andy Murray from Labour, we've got Conservative Sean Anstey as well, an independent who doesn't speak English, which is quite interesting as well, who's received quite a bit of criticism. I mean, of course, we know about a lot of people like Andy Burnham in the media, but like you saying, that last candidate, could you tell me a bit about him? I'm not sure of him myself. Well, all I've heard is Mohammed Aslam is a candidate from Cheetham Hill area, doesn't speak a word of English, had to do his minute manifesto for the BBC in Urdu, which was translated, and former UKIP MEPs have given him quite a bit of criticism. Well, that would be very interesting and see how he gets on. Should be. Manchester City now can move 4 points clear of Manchester United as they go head-to-head in one of the most significant derbies in recent times. Both teams are battling for a position in the top 4 to get into the Champions League next season. The bars and pubs are set to be packed tonight for the game. Our reporter Jack Adcock went to the Etihad for a preview of tonight's showdown.
Tonight sees what is undoubtedly the biggest day in Manchester sporting calendar, Derby Day. Manchester City will host Manchester United in what could be the closest game in years, with the two teams separated by just a point in the Premier League table. Derby match means much more to fans than just 3 points though. With local pride at stake, it's clear to see how much of an effect it has on the city. So as you can see, I'm here in Mary D's supporters bar in Manchester, where pretty much everything around is Manchester City, from the floor with the Manchester City badge, to the blue barrels, to the shirts all around the room and the flags. It may seem quite quiet now, but later this afternoon, this bar will be full of around 1,000 Manchester City fans eagerly anticipating the big game. As the owner of the supporters bar, what's it like on a Derby Day? What's the atmosphere like in the bar?
Very, very good.
So are people singing, dancing?
Yeah. It's doing very well on the match days, yeah.
Good. And how many Man City fans do you reckon you can get in on a match day?
I think the police allow us about 1,200, something like that.
Wow. Can you describe, in your words, what Derby Day is to Manchester City and to the bar?
I just describe it as a good day. Top day.
Top day.
Yeah.
Tonight, fans from both teams will be walking through these gates to watch what could be the most historic and most important game of the season, and hopefully it lives up to all the hype. Jack Adcock reporting for Quays News.
And recent studies show that fizzy drinks can triple the risk of causing dementia and strokes. High calorie intake can also cause obesity. Our reporter Nicola Bartoshova went out to find out more.
Fizzy drinks like Coke, Fanta or Sprite. We drink them often, but what consequences do these drinks have on us? Recent study claimed that a diet drink could triple the risk of dementia or stroke.
In this study that's saying about the fizzy drinks being unhealthy, I think the main thing is to look at the evidence, and I don't think there's enough research to say that fizzy drinks are causing dementia and Alzheimer's. But I think a lot of sugar can contribute to obesity. It's raising your calorie intake. It's fine to enjoy a fizzy drink now and again, but it's obviously bad for your teeth. It can make you overweight if you're drinking far too much, as well as a bad diet. It can contribute to diabetes.
Now, how many teaspoons of sugar do young people think is in a bottle of Coke?
I would say probably more than people think, so about 4.
I wouldn't have thought many, if it's a few, maybe 3 or 4.
I think it's bad to drink fizzy drinks because I've known from experience if you put a penny in a fizzy drink, then generally it dissolves. So if it does that to a penny, then imagine what it does to your teeth.
Drinking fizzy drinks on a daily basis can have a number of consequences for us. In a bottle of Coke like this, there is about 9 teaspoons of sugar, which could lead teenagers to put on weight heavily. There are also some tips on how to keep healthy lifestyle.
Alzheimer's UK and Dementia UK are saying a healthy lifestyle will prevent dementia and strokes. Keeping your blood pressure down, physical activity, keeping your brain active, doing puzzles, quizzes. Diet is a major factor as well, what we're eating.
There is not enough evidence of fizzy drinks causing dementia or stroke, but professionals advise to keep healthy lifestyle and being active. Nicola Bartoshova, Quays News.
Interesting, that, isn't it? I do like a nice fizzy drink on a hot day, nice and cold. What about yourself? Do you like?
No, actually, I'm trying to, like this package just said, I'm trying to cut down a bit more, get rid of my sugar, really, lead a healthier lifestyle, get in the gym a bit more.
I should probably take some note then, shouldn't I? Now, new smoking laws will be set in May, and just to tackle smoking habits in young people. Figures released by Cancer Research suggest that 2/3 of smokers start before the age of 18. Our reporter Anya Lubavitska has this story.
Smoking has become popular in younger people as it altered the ways of socializing nowadays. The government has banned the selling of 10 packs, but they will also ban menthol and flavored cigarettes as well as rolling tobacco. All actions are taken to make people think twice before smoking. This pack of cigarette would have cost you £6 few years ago. Now you have to spend at least £8 for it. That is what the government believes it will reduce the number of young smokers. According to Cancer Research, 2/3 of smokers start before the 18th birthday. Do you think it's going to affect you as a smoker?
Yeah, greatly, because obviously they're putting the tax up, so it's going to cost a lot more, and as a student it's going to be harder to afford to be able to smoke. Regarding new smokers, I think for people that already smoke, it will make it more difficult for people to quit, because obviously if you had the smaller packs, it restricted the amount that you could smoke, but now if people who do smoke and are addicted, they're just going to buy the bigger packs and just smoke through more a day, I reckon.
The new packs will feature the product name in standard font on the front below a huge health warning. We find out how this affects stores.
It's pretty much the same sales-wise, but obviously it's, you don't get as frequent, as they used to come in before. But sales-wise, and profit margin-wise, still the same.
As the stores follow the new law, the changes are more visible and hopefully reduce smoking habit. For Quays News, Anna Lubowicka.
Now, squatters took to the roof of the corner house next to Oxford Road earlier this week. The group that call themselves Loose Space consist of around 50 artists that have put up concerts and hung up paintings around the former arts centre. They've been in the building for over a month now, and in agreement with the owners Network Rail, they were due to leave on Monday lunchtime.
Instead, however, they climbed to the top of the building and stayed put. Greater Manchester and British Transport Police cordoned off Whitworth Street West and access to Oxford Street Road Station. The squatters are still in the building and Network Rail are in discussions to come to a resolution.
Now, commuters are warned that Friday's Northern Rail strike will impact all commuters as the rail operator admits just 13 routes to and from Manchester will run. Greater Manchester's transport bosses have warned to expect heavy traffic on the roads and metro links.
And now in entertainment news, Ghost the Musical has been at the Lowry this week. It features Hollyoaks star Andrew Moss. Our entertainment reporter Coral Daniels donned a white bedsheet and mixed it up with the paranormal activity last night. She has this review.
Once you go to police, he said it was a setup, he was murdered.
So hello there. I watched Ghost the Musical last night at the Lowry Theatre behind me. And personally, I'm not a fan of musicals, but this one really blew my mind. It's got everything you could possibly want from a theatre production. You've got tragedy, you've got romance, a few saucy scenes as well, not for the younger viewers. There's gospel, there's rock, there's beautiful ballads that give you chills. And the most amazing part was that the main roles of Molly and Sam were actually played by the understudies last night, and you could not tell. The only slightly downside was in the first act, and there's a moment where Molly slaps Kyle. And it's not at all convincing. It's literally like this. It's not much of a slap at all. So it kind of loses the sincerity of the performance just in that moment alone though. Apart from that, it was brilliant. And the narrative itself stuck quite closely to the film, which was slightly disappointing because they could have had a bit more fun with it because it's been quite a few years since the original was released. And they kept the costumes pretty similar as well. So there wasn't too much originality in that sense, but the fact it was a musical and they used songs made it more different as well. And there was just a hint of cheesiness, not too much, not enough to make you vomit like most musicals these days, which was perfect for me, who's not so keen on that. And the main reason I'm not so keen on musicals tends to be because the whole idea of bursting into song randomly just does not appeal to me. It just doesn't feel very real. But in this musical and production, it's done so well that it really moves the narrative along. The songs aren't there just to entertain you. They're there to give you the background thoughts and emotions of the characters themselves, to add a sense of dramatic irony where the double crossing's involved. But you'll have to watch it to find out what that is. So I would definitely recommend it. It's still on for a couple more nights, so get your tickets. Back to you in the studio.
Oh, Coral, thank you so much. What a lovely review. Now, Ghost finishes its run at the Lowry this Saturday, so check it out whilst you still can. Sounds like a great show. Ever seen Ghost?
No, I haven't. I love Patrick Swayze, though, in the original. The pottery scene, it's iconic, it's, fantastic, great film. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I thought if you're watching Ghost, you can't see anything.
Ah, very good, Inzi. Our resident comedian over here, Inzi Rashid.
Wasn't that funny at all, was it? Now, that's all we have time for today, because we are coming... Oh, I do apologise. We're just hearing some breaking news, a bit of update on that story. Prime Minister Theresa May was away from Number 10 on a campaign visit at the time of the incident. That's the story that we brought you at the start of the show.
Quoting here from Theresa May, this is an ongoing police operation and we are monitoring it. So, a Number 10 spokeswoman said this. The Prime Minister has been informed by officials and she'll be updated as usual for incidents like this. Keep checking our website, quaysnews.com, for more updates.
Now that's all time we have for today. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Snapchat at Quays News. I do that and you might see my face all over it. To keep up to date with the latest news, also give us a cheeky like on Facebook.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week at the same time, the same place. Goodbye.
Goodbye.